Hey guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lou. Coming to you live from Studio 700 at Revitalize Life Fitness and Life Coaching. Coach Lou will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the body, the energy, and success you deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lou.
Good morning, guys. Coach Lou here from Studio 700 Revitalize Life Fitness, Longwood, Florida. So, coming to you this morning on this Monday morning to talk to you about, are you a thermometer or are you a thermostat? And you might be kind of going, well, this is pretty interesting concept here. Really didn't think I was either. I think I'm human. And amen. We've all been a thermometer at some times and a thermostat at others. And you're probably going, he's really off his rocker this morning. What is he even remotely talking about here? So these are two different words that sound very similar, but have a very different meaning when it comes to an analogy of your life and the way that you live. So let me start out with a little story for you. When Lexi was a little girl, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, I was in a part of my life where I was extremely busy, doing a lot of travel, running a couple businesses, and on the road and in the air a lot. And what would occur, beginning of the week, I'd always prided myself on being a really good dad, a really hands-on dad, really involved, really wanted, I was excited. It was, I loved being a dad, but I would let outside factors decide which days and what, even on certain days, how I showed up as a dad, if that makes sense. It was kind of a thermometer of the world around me. If I had a crappy day, if my flights were late, etc. On a Friday, I'd get home, Lexi be ready to play and have a good time. And I'd be like, Daddy's beat. If I get done early, I'd catch the early flight home and stuff like that. I would be like, hey, let's go do something. Let's go play. Let's have a good time. And so basically at that point in my life, I was being a thermometer. I was a reflection of what my day was, what my surroundings were, and what was going on in the world. I was very much affected by outside factors, other people, market conditions, weather conditions, flight schedules, traffic, etc. And don't think I still don't deal with some traffic, but fortunately I'm not flying a couple times a week like I did then. But that's just to give you a little story, a little primer for what we're doing here. So what I'm about to teach you is something that is so different than what we were brought up with thinking. We were brought up thinking that the weather, our bosses, our family, the traffic, the expectations, our, mental capability, our SAT scores, all that shit would determine how we feel and how far we can go in life. If you weren't the smartest kid in school, you weren't going to get into college. And if you didn't go and get your GPA to a certain amount and you didn't take X amount of schooling, you are definitely not getting a good job. You may as well, think, okay, blue collar career rather than a white collar career. And neither one is right or wrong. It all depends on what's for you. But a lot of people didn't get to decide that. If you were from this side of town, you went to work at the factory. If you were brought up in the suburbs, you were expected to get an education to be an attorney or a doctor or, something like that. And if you're somewhere in between, you were probably in sales. And if you're really lucky, you got to be an entrepreneur and, nosedive a few times and brush off and skyrocket and nosedive and go through what most entrepreneurs do. But I'm digressing a little bit there. But what I'm trying to teach you is, we've all heard the shit stories. We've had people go, There's a lot more people kill themselves in the northern climate because, the weather is so gloomy and gray. Does it really encourage you to get up with energy and passion when it's gloomy, gray, rainy, and chilly? Maybe not as much. Some people love that. Some people are juiced by it. And I'm looking out the office window here, and guess what? It's gloomy and gray out this morning. I'm not depressed by it. I'm excited. I'm sure as hell glad I don't have to go out and work in it, for 12, 14 hours a day in be standing out there and directing traffic, maybe a traffic cop in New York City in this crap. I'm thankful for that. So no, the weather does not determine how you feel. Is it a little bit easier to wake up on a nice sunny, crisp, clean, fresh air morning with a nice breeze and the sky is beautiful and go, wow? Yeah, that's about appreciation and having gratitude for the great stuff around you. But it by all means does not determine. If it determined it, I'd be getting on this morning going, oh, guys, well, I got some stuff to teach you here, but, it's kind of gloomy out. Yeah, I could put myself in that state. And there were times that I did. I grew up in Western New York. This was kind of the norm, if not, enclosed with a little bit of snow around it too, or a whole lot of snow. I can get where if you're conditioned, and that's the key to it, is your conditioning. If you're conditioned to that you're supposed to be depressed in that kind of weather, that can definitely, be something that'll trigger, and it's your own trigger, not somebody else's. Make sure whatever you trigger is your own. When I wake up and it's a big, beautiful day and it's really nice and, the sun comes up, I don't wake up when the sun comes up. I'm up before that, needless to say. But when it comes up and there's a beautiful sunrise, yeah, that gives you a little extra boost because I've conditioned myself for that. If I lived in Seattle, I might look forward to a rainy day and a nice hot cup of coffee at the cafe before going into work, et cetera. You see where I'm going with this? Bosses, used to be, somebody could hold you back. Shame on you if you're letting somebody hold you back. If you're in a career where somebody's got their hand on you and got you held back, whether it's in a career, a family business, any of that, shame on you if you don't switch gears. Either do better in that career so that you break through that. Doesn't mean you go, oh, I'm capped out here. Somebody's giving me resistance. I run away. I'm going to quit. Quit is too much the Q word these days. I'm going to quit. I've worked there 2 weeks and I don't like it. I'm going to quit. I haven't been promoted for 2 weeks. I'm going to quit. BS. Give your best. But if you really do have somebody standing in your way, go around them. Keep progressing or find somewhere where you can take that ceiling off of you. Family. Well, they are my family. I can't. My mom always did it this way. My dad always did it this way. Or my dad did it this way. Whatever the tone is there, it doesn't have to be exactly like that. You see where I'm going with this? Okay, so really, really, really hoping that you're getting my drift on this one is teaching you a different way of thinking. You are in control of what something means to you. You are in control of what you do with it. And that is the key. Does it mean that somebody else doesn't throw a challenge your way, or that you don't have to work with or around other people's agendas and figure out how to interact and how to make everybody win and get what they want and get out of the deal? No. But the deal is, what it does mean very, very, very specifically is that you are the one that assigns the meanings and you're responsible for your actions. No, you're not always going to be responsible for somebody else's actions. Wishful we could just be in control. That's called being, a control freak. If you think you've got to be in control of everything, what you're in control of is you, your emotions, your actions, your meanings. That's what you control. How far you go is your control. Sometimes you say, no, somebody's got me stuck up and they're jamming me up. Yeah, maybe possible. But some of the worst jam ups in the world have made people so strong that they finally break through that. Look at, I used to, and have a different view of this. coaching people sometimes who have been in abusive relationships. My thing used to be, you know where the door is, walk out. Well, it's not that easy because of those emotional ties, et cetera, et cetera. But that person at some point has an epiphany and a breakthrough, and they do. They walk out the door, walk in the door, get the job, leave the bad relationship, whatever the case is, there's that pivotal epiphany when you go, you know what? I've got the tools and I'm the one in charge. It might not be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. You don't just go, you know what, I'm sick of my job. I want to start my own business. You go, I'm starting my own business. I'm in the widget business and I'm putting a sign on the door. And you go, holy shit, in 2 weeks, nobody's come through my door. Well, that's not being in business. You're not marketing. You weren't planning. That's just saying you're in business doesn't mean it. So you got to take those actions. The actions and the ones you're responsible for, and take the meaning, use that power of why. There we are, back to that power of why again. If you have not seen that post, get back there and do that exercise on the power of why, because that's what drives everybody, and everything you do is your why. So I think at this point we could say that you're with me on this, right? You kind of got the gist of my story there, that at that point in life, I was being a thermostat. I was taking on a lot of the outside stuff and letting it reflect back out of me. If I was tired, if I had a bad day or something stupid happened, I'd come home and I had no energy. It was a reflection of being wore out and tired. And this is God knows how long ago, 18 years ago, maybe 16 years ago, whatever. Or, if I had a great day and I did really financially well that day, it was like, hey, let's go celebrate. Well, who determines that? What wasn't different out of the whole thing? The day might have been a cluster F. It might have been a great day. It might have been hugely successful. It might have been moderately successful. But the meaning at the end of the day in my Lexi story was, I was Lexi's daddy. That's who I'm supposed to show up and be when I go home. Not a reflection of my day, how my parenting skills went, and how my engagement with my child or, any relationships you have with people shouldn't be a reflection of your day. Now, if your day's been awesome and you walk through the door and you're like, honey, baby, I'm home. Hey, honey, hi, kids. Yeah, I've had the greatest day. And, you walk through the door like that. Oh, yeah, reflect that out. Yeah, you turn that temperature up, turn that fire up, do it, but don't bring home the shitstorm in a situation like that because you had a bad day, that you're not going to show up as being the quality of human being that you are. So the tools for creating the life that you design and the life that you control are always looking at every scenario as an opportunity to grow or contribute mindset. When something comes up and you're ready to react and become that thermometer that's going to show that, you know what, this is sucks, this is taking me down, or man, this is going to rock, and you ramp up the heat. If you're ramping up the heat, you're the thermostat, you're the pusher. If you're a reflection of it and it's taking you down, you're the thermometer. You see where we're going. You're getting the gist of this, guys. So develop the courage. This is one of the most important things, to stand by your standards. Not mine, not your bosses, not your spouses, not your deranged family member that has issues. Your standards and your beliefs. Now, it doesn't mean that you become high and mighty and alienate everybody. If some of the people around you are not at your standard, but you love them and care for them, help pull them up. That's good contribution. That makes you feel great. You can control by contributing. You can control what you contribute. You can control your growth and your meaning to you. You can't always control the actions of others and outside forces, but don't be a reflection of them. Control, thermostat, be the thermostat to ramp up your energy, ramp up your motivation, ramp up your desire, ramp up your power of why, or to cool down your temper, cool down your tendencies to abuse food, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, or whatever. That You can cool some stuff down too. It's not always about ramping it up and heating it up. If you got a bad temper and it's creating problems in your life, you're going to want to cool that down. You want to bring that thermostat down. If you've got an amazing thing going on to where you're growing, you're going to want to ramp it up, take it to the next level. So it's simple stuff, guys. This is the cool part of it. This is simple stuff, but you just got to get it in your heart, get it in your soul, get your brain and your heart together, working together, not one fighting the other where your brain goes, well, I need this damn job, but oh, I hate it and it's killing me. That's not a way to live. Either learn to love it so it's not killing you, or find a different one that you love and it's producing for you. So one concept that you got to understand in all of this too, that's very important, is the concept of self-care. I'm going to give you the example. You get on the airplane, and this is not my example. We all use it, all coaches, and they tell you to, how to fasten your seatbelt. Like, that's really difficult to do, but hey, you know what? They're doing their job. And sometimes I start to go, really? And then I go, you know what? No, there might be somebody brand new to this, and just because somebody's taking the moment to explain it, they're not as scared on the flight. So there's have a little understanding for others. Not everybody gets everything at the level you do, and you don't get everything at the level that everybody else does either. So then they talk about the oxygen, masks dropping down. What do? You got to put it on your kid first, right? Because that's your power of why. Your kids or your spouse or whatever are the important people. No, you put yours on first. You heartless SOB. Really? You're going to put yours on before your child? Hell yeah, because in that scenario, there are seconds before you could go out. So if you're struggling to get it on your child, they're scared, they're squirming, you pass out, you don't get the mask on them, you're both dead. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay, so you do have to take care of yourself first in that scenario. And in all scenarios, you can only take care of other people and others that you love. You can only lead others and so forth. If you do this for yourself first, how can you take care of somebody if you got an empty tank? If you're out of gas, let's use an Uber driver as an example. Hey, maybe you need to make some bucks. You're in a jam. And you go, oh, these Uber drivers are making money. I'm going to go do that because I don't want to, do a regular job. I don't want to go work day labor. Let's really take this. Somebody's in a bind. I don't want to go work day labor and get paid today. I can go work Uber and get paid in 15 minutes. I can start making money in 15 minutes. And you go out and you go to and you got no gas in the car. Okay, so you have no gas to go give somebody a ride. You're not going to make anything. You can't be an Uber driver. You're not going to carry them on your back. I guess you could. So what would be the smart move? Take the bus, go do day labor, invest that day labor into that tank of gas so you can go give other people rides, make more money. Now you can take care of your children, yourself, your whatever, and you get out of that jam. You're taking care of other people's needs, but you're taking care of you first. You got to fill that tank up before you go do your Uber day, right? Right? Give me a right on this, guys, because there is no ifs, ands, or buts. If your tank is empty, you're not going to be able to give. So you can only take care of others, love others, and lead others if you take care of yourself, love yourself, and lead yourself first. So in essence, a thermometer measures or is a direct reflection of your environment or the environment that's around it. The thermostat takes control of the environment. So which are you going to be? Now, it does not mean you become a control freak. What it means is you control meaning and your actions, which is going to control your outcome. If you sit back and you get kicked in the corner and you keep getting kicked in the corner, sooner or later, if somebody's beating you up, you're going to die if they're not going to stop, or you're going to step up and fight your way out of it. Either you're going to be a thermometer taking it all in and just reflecting it, or you're going to be a thermostat that, bam, you know what? The heat came up enough and I came out fighting. Now, I hate to use an example like that because, we're not trying to promote violence or anything. But you know what? In a lot of situations, sometimes you get shoved in a corner till you step up. Let's face it, bullying. I think we're all of an age that we probably realize that there's been times we've been maybe a little bullied or bullied others. I don't think anybody's gone along and been a perfect pious angel that's never taken a situation and kind of shoved somebody when they were down, even if unintentionally, or you've been shoved pretty hard when you were down, or, a lot of it. But when did it all change? The day you turned around the meaning, took responsibility for your feelings, your actions, and took action. That is the key to this. A thermometer sits there and reflects what's going on around it. A thermostat creates the environment that the thermometer reflects. Leaders are thermostats, followers are thermometers. And doesn't mean that you don't follow and learn from great leaders when it's serving you. Okay. I mean, you're not going to go in and tell your boss, I'm not listening to you anymore. Maybe your boss is great and helps you grow and has a great growth plan and they're a great person and they're providing a great place of employment for you. Why would you want to go in and tell them, I'm taking over the thermostat here? That's the time it's okay to be a thermometer. Reflect that greatness. But if you're going in and you're just getting your ass kicked every day and, you're not, and you're falling out and you're falling behind in your bills and you hate it and, all right, time to look somewhere else. Become a thermostat, ramp it up. Does it mean you go in and quit your job and go, now what? No, but maybe you start a little side business or a little eBay business at home or a coaching business or whatever it is, or you get a second job and you get to that point where you're ahead enough where you go, you know what, if it takes me a week of taking a week off to go get the job I really want or to start the business I really want, I've got that little bit of padding. I'm not going to starve and crash and not be able to self-care in the process. So lots of good stuff, guys. What I'm going to do is something a little different this morning. We got about 5 minutes left on the show. If you would like to call in, and I will have time for one call in, that's it. If there's something you want to add to this, something you want to take away from this, something you need clarification on, a quick interview, I'd love to have you join us live on the air here. You can call 321-972-3295. That's 321-972-3295 if you'd like to join me on the show here for a couple of minutes. And that's about what we've got left. We're about 3-4 minutes out. But if you had a burning question or something burning you want to add, ring in. I'll put you on live. I got the phone right next to me here. And no, it's not my cell phone, so please don't text it. That is the office line. So in essence, only be a thermometer when you are reflecting the greatness around you. And it's okay. It doesn't mean you're always one or the other. But be the thermostat. Be the thermostat that ramps up your life, ramps up your energy, ramps up what you want to do. And I know I'm getting lots of comments here, guys. I am on our studio software, and it does not process the comments in, or probably a little bit of an admission here. I don't know how to import the comments into this particular software. Although we've worked a lot of bugs out if you've been on kind of playing around with some of these with me, and some of the times where I've gone on and you're going, what in the hell is Coach doing? That was a lot of testing software. So there's a lot of greatness to what we're doing. Would love to get some call-ins, guys. We can start doing that. If that's something you'd like, post it in the comments. If there's stuff that you want to hear about, and we did last week's show on something that was brought to my attention from my old friend Greg, put it out there. I'm more than happy to answer your questions, more than happy to design shows around what you guys need, because this is what is important to me is, I've done my self-care this morning. Anybody want to guess what time I got up? 3:30 this morning. Do I say that to impress you? No. I certainly thought I was sleeping till 4:15 because that's what time the clock was set for. My clock inside starts going and my mind starts going and I'm like, I got to get up. I got to get on this. This is, I got to ramp it up here, right? This gives me some extra time to really get prepared for what we're doing this morning. And it was great. And I feel great. Do I necessarily want to be up at 3:30 every morning? Maybe, maybe not. It all depends. But the key to it is getting that energy that drives you to live your passion. My passion may not be your passion. You may not want to be a life coach, a trainer, an auctioneer, and all that good stuff. And I say that, lovingly, because I do love everything I do. Am I able anymore to do every single aspect of every business all by myself? Hell no. I mean, there would be zero sleep, guys. And that's where having a great team. Jen absolutely took over the other side of taking care of, getting a lot of the auction stuff set up and that. And, I still jump in and, some days I'm still on the truck too. Not afraid to put the blue, the white, or the yellow collar on, because let's face it, if you're in business or if you're a dad, if you're anybody to anybody, you're gonna have to shift gears sometimes. You are gonna have to use that thermostat to go up, down, sideways, wherever you want to go. So let me just put it to you the simplest way that I can. Get up, live with energy, passion, go after your dreams. A lot of people say, well, I've got dreams and I'd love to start a business. I work, from 8 to 6. I got a long day, or 6 to 6, and okay, well, what's going on between 6 and midnight? People go, huh? What? Yeah. Or 6 and 9. If you took 2 or 3 hours to work on ramping your thermostat up a day, oh my God. 6 days a week, taking that 7th day. My God, we're trying. It's not, we've been doing some 7-day weeks here, but, we're trying to take that 7th day and make sure we do that self-care. And, even if it's a few hours here and there, but you've got more time. If you dedicated 2 hours every day to growing and creating something bigger and beyond what you're doing right now, learning, creating, that's, even if you did it on a 5-day week basis, that's 10 hours. Imagine what you can do in 10 hours. In 2 hours, it doesn't sound like a lot. 2 hours a day, and plus I got everything else. And what am I going to really build in 2 hours a day? Well, you can do it quite a bit, but 10 hours a week, 40 hours a month. Oh, wow. You just added a whole extra week. If you go on a 40-hour work week, you have just given yourself a whole extra week. What could you accomplish at work if you're working for somebody else? If you worked 40 more hours, how much more would you get done and deliver to that person? Well, what if you work on yourself that couple of hours a day and give yourself that time and grow? That career of yours is definitely going to grow, because if you become that kind of person, that's going to show at work. That business of yours is going to grow. Your relationships are going to grow. And here you go. And make part of that self-care. That doesn't mean hard driving, that you never stop. And I have a hard time with that. I have a hard time putting the brakes on and going, oh, self-care time. 10 minutes in the massage chair. And it's funny, this morning I was doing my priming. And and I'm going, and we're going, what are you thankful for? What's the third thing? And it's like, keep it simple. Tony says, keep it simple on the third thing. And I'm like, I'm thankful for this massage chair that I get to do my priming in. And it's simple. But you know what? A couple of years ago, we didn't have that massage chair to do the priming in. And it was like, oh, yeah, that is something to be thankful and grateful for. That's 10 minutes, 15 minutes of self-care in the morning to get primed up, ready to go for the day. So I am going to sign off here, guys. Live with energy, passion, faith. Always live your dreams. This is Coach Lou, excited to have shared time with you this morning. Excited we had no software snafus, and would love to get some call-ins on some shows, guys, so we can make arrangements for that beforehand if you got specific questions, specific things you'd like to hear. Have an absolutely amazing day, and we'll see you on the next one.